Perfect. All right. Welcome, guys. Can you believe it's already the middle of December? 2 weeks left of the month. 2 weeks left of the year to blow it out of the park. And I'm so excited and so grateful for this amazing power couple who are taking the time out of their night to bless all of us with their wisdom and their words and their story and their journey. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear from them. I know you guys are so excited. Everyone's been so hyped. Everyone loves you guys. So thank you so, so, so much. I'm going to give you a really brief bio. So Sandy and Wade, Critides are an EMVP partnership in Arbonne, residing in Orange County, California. We've got a lot of Orange County people on the team, so right in your hood. Prior to Arbonne, Sandy did all the things, could never find anything she truly loved and was passionate about. And prior to Arbonne, Wade was a VP for a finance firm. Sandy originally started her Arbonne business in August 2018. Wade partnered with her in business shortly after, and they love nothing more than doing life and business together. They have 22 VPs in their success line. High five. And have a big goal of being 7-wide EMVP partnership by their 5-year Arbonne anniversary in August 2023. Of course, you can do it. They also have an amazing podcast. I know a lot of you guys listen to their podcast, and an amazing journal that I know a lot of you guys are using. So you guys are just killing it. You inspire so many people, and we're just so grateful to hear from you tonight. So thank you. And I will let you guys take it away. I'll spotlight you here, and I will mute myself. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yes.
By the way, are you guys partnered too? Did I not know that? Oh no.
He's shaking no.
Heavy's just there.
He's just supportive as heck. I love it.
So we met in Arbonne. So we both were already in business. So we're on completely separate teams.
Yeah. Wow.
But we work together as if we're partnered. Yeah. So we have both of our teams together here. But yeah, we're not actually.
Wow.
We're a little bit of a unique situation. So
I
gotta love unique.
Well, thank you so much for having us. I'm so excited to be here with you guys, everyone. My name is Sandy Critides.
I'm Wade.
And
Critides.
This is our greatest joy is popping on calls for sideline teams and just pouring into them. And we want to just share, if there's something particular you want to know about or hear more about, put it in the chat, and we'd love to open this up for questions at the end. But we are just so honored that this is one of the last calls probably of 2020, and we were asked to be on it. We're just such big believers that how you end anything is how you start something new, right? How you end an hour, how you end a day, how you end a week, how you end a month, how you end a year is how you enter the next one, right? And this has been one hell of a year. And so let's end it strong. And so we're super excited to pour into you guys, to share our story, hopefully to inspire you.
I think with that said, ending the year, our vision is truly as our life is as big as our vision for it, right? If we only have a vision to here, if we set that ceiling, that's what we're going to bump up again. So let's break through it. With ending 2020 strong, we think about you guys, what an amazing opportunity right now. It's a holiday season. Everybody, it's been a wild year. We've got a chance to write our 2021 out. We are the sailors of our life, right? Where's that ship going? But also, what's the best opportunity right now? Everyone is going to be looking to get healthy after the holidays. I know we have a January 4th, Monday, January 4th, 30 Days Healthy Living group. I'm sure you guys have something that or around that time frame. I want to challenge you guys. I believe you, each and every one of you, can get 10 people to do it with you. And I want you guys to do it too. We in Arbonne should all start the year off just on fire, healthy, vital. When we're vibrating from that place, that feeling our best and being a just true product of the product, living, breathing it, we attract that too. And so get 10 people to do it with you, and boom, gosh, what if we all did that? That'd be amazing. What kind of momentum are we building? And 10, I'm going to say, dang, good job. For those that I want to go above and beyond, I want to be great, go 15. What about 15? So 10 or 15 people to do the 30 days with you. I promise you, just have the conversations, do the do until you get to that number, and then keep going. And it'll just start you off on fire, getting healthy yourself and doing it with other people.
Let's do it. And know that if you believe you can, you're right. And if you believe you cannot, you are also right. I know we have a super intuitive group here. By the way, I have your book. I have not read it yet, full
Oh.
transparency, but I bought it and I'm excited to read it. Book club, anyone? Okay, so I'm going to share my story, share our story. And I want to say, as I share a story, our story is not typical, but it shows what's possible. And if you want to know what's typical, you can go to earnings.arbonne.com. If you are recording any of this and putting it on social media, please press mute. And please make sure to add disclaimers. But I will start by saying I got introduced to Arbonne in August of 2018. My sister had incredible results with Arbonne's 30 Days to Healthy Living. And I thought, wow, if this could do this for my sister, I wonder what it could do for me. I had no intention of doing the business. I was very uneducated on network marketing. And to be honest, I was kind of a hater. I'm kind of an intense person. Like when I'm about something, like I'm all in, right? And if I'm not about it, like I'm not going there. And so I saw my sister doing it and I'm like, I love her. I'm happy for her. But I'm so surprised she's like doing one of these like weird companies. Like I just was super uneducated about what it was. And so I supported her and I, was happy for her. I saw her transformation, but it wasn't about it at first. And then she started inviting me to some of these like healthy happy hours and like launch parties. And like, I was like going with her and I'm like, wow, this community is like so positive and like everyone's so nice and everyone's so beautiful and everyone's doing all this mindset work. And like at the time I was super unhappy in what I was doing. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, maybe by a show of hands, but if you've ever had a job that you hate's a strong word, but just really don't like,
probably
right?
severely disliked.
I severely disliked it, yeah. So like the type of job where you like live for the weekends and then like Sunday scaries hit hardcore because you're freaked out about Monday coming and like having to live that life all over again. That was me like 2.5 years ago. And it's crazy to think like I dreamed about getting out of that cycle, but I didn't know how. And I'm a big believer that when you're seeking something, it's seeking you. Did I think it was going to come in the package of Arbonne? Hell no, but it did. Right. And so I embraced it. And I'm like, let's go. So I saw my sister's journey and I was like, I want to do the 30 days. So I did. And about 10 days in, I was not a consultant. I was feeling on fire. Like I was waking up before my alarm. My skin was clearing. My digestive issues were better. Like my energy was through the roof. I'm giving everyone like biz sticks. People are like, do you sell this stuff? I'm like, no, I just love it. And I think we're all natural sharers, right? When you love something, you're going to tell people, right? Have you ever recommended a restaurant? You ever recommended a boutique? You ever been like, oh my gosh, you have to go see this movie, right? We all do that. That's all we do in network marketing. It's no different than that. And so I found myself doing it and my sister's like, Sandy, why don't you do this? Like you'd be so good at it. And I'm like, And when I got real with myself, it was because of fear, right? We all have that. And fear, like I know this is a corny acronym, but fear stands for false evidence appearing real, right? Every fear that I had was fake news. Right? Like of course, there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that don't support you. There's going to be all those things. But my pain point of getting out of that job and living a better life for myself was so much greater than the fear of what people thought about me. And ultimately, people's opinions of you do not pay your bills. And so if you want this to be your plan A, if you want this to work for you, you can. Wade and I were not born better at Arbonne. We still learn things every single day. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I didn't know that about that product, right? But if you wait till you know everything, you will never like take off. You will earn as you learn, or is it learn as you earn? I always say things about you will earn as you learn. So just start earning and just start leaning in and you will learn along the way. So anyway, dove in, was very coachable and like I was really scared of my reputation. Like, what are people going to think of me? Like, people are going to be highly concerned that I got involved in network marketing. Like, they're going to be like, here she goes doing this thing now, right? Because Sam mentioned, like, I have done so many things. Like, I've been in real estate. I've been a small business owner. I was a waitress. I was a nanny. I did software sales, like inside sales, like cold calling. I could think of like 50 things that I've done. And it's like, oh, here comes Sandy, like doing something new again. So I was like scared of like, gosh, I'm going to be that girl that just like is doing something new. So I was like, if I'm going to do this, like I'm going to do this. And I didn't know a lick about network marketing, right? So one of my biggest tips is become a student of network marketing. Like, what are you reading, right? Like, what are you reading? What are you plugging into? What are you consuming? And I'm not just talking about food and products. Like, what are you consuming? Who are the people that you're hanging out with? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Maybe you need to reevaluate your circle. I know I did. There were some people in my life, some people that had been in my life for a long time that I was like, this person does not breathe belief in life over me, and I'm going to just like push them over there right now because they are not in alignment with my greater mission of life. I feel like I've been talking a lot and I need a sip of water, so can you take
Yeah, I want to unwrap a little bit about, because I had a front row seat at first. Sandy and I didn't start as a partnership. She started, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story and getting into the business. But unwrapping a little bit of what Sandy said, like, she started as a preferred client, just like, sure, I'll support my sister's business. We were 2 months from getting married. And to say too, like, Sandy was super busy. I was super busy when she started the business, when we partnered in the business. Like, we both worked full time. We were about to get married, planning a wedding. Like, so one, busy is not an excuse. We all have the same amount of time in the day, right? It's like, what are we prioritizing? Rather than saying, I don't have time for that, I'm too busy for that, be real with yourself and say, I'm not prioritizing that. So it's not that we don't have time to like connect with 10, 20 people a day or whatever it is. It's like, just be real with yourself. I'm not prioritizing that. But that's a side note. So Sandy was a PC. She did the 30 days. She loved it. She was coached well through the program and was a natural product of the product. Ended up starting the business, ended up just having pain be her driving force of like, I do not like my life where it's at. I have a bigger vision for my life, and I see this as a vehicle. Is it the vehicle I envision? No. But then once you get into it, you realize, holy smokes, like, this is amazing. The community, the mentorship, the business model, the products, everything is just like, it's all there for you. And then, so then you realize, this is up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. She took it and ran with it. She was super coachable. She was hungry, and she just went with it. She promoted, again, story's not typical, but she promoted to RVP in 3 months. So I want to empower you guys. She was like this ball of flame that came into a relatively dormant business. So everyone is like, holy smokes, there's a Sandy girl. Like, what the heck happened? Like, what's going on right now? So I want to empower you guys. Like, you never know where your next fire is, where your next ace is. Like, no one probably envisioned like Sandy, or hopefully they were actually envisioning it. Hopefully they were attracting that into their business. But Sandy came in, at first as a PC, like, no, I'll never do the business. And then all of a sudden her eyes get opened after she has her own testimonial. So know that like, your fire is, your ace could be right around the corner. Oftentimes people give up like right before their breakthrough, right before their miracle, right before that, like that next conversation. Always, if you're always in the mindset of like, this next reach out or conversation could be my ace, and this person could totally change my life. Like, I will help change their life, and ultimately we will change a lot of lives. And the more lives that I can change, everything I want will be taken care of. That's what you realize, right? I think it's Zig Ziglar. He says, you want like to change your life, or you want to be great, find a way to serve many. Service to many leads to greatness. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything you ever needed. That's what this life is all about. So, but sticking on that point of empowering, like your Sandy, your Sammy, your anyone, your ace could be like right there around the corner. You got to stay consistent.
They could already be in your business as a PC, and maybe you haven't asked them if they want to upgrade. Maybe you haven't breathed life into them and said, hey, you're a walking billboard for this. You love these products. Would you be open to me showing you how to create an extra stream of earnings? Like, what if you sent a message like that really intentionally? Maybe you sent it in a video to all of your preferred clients. And so it's not just a text message, but they actually see how genuine and real you are in that ask.
What would you say? Hit them with an example. There's a PC. They've done the 30 days. Maybe you think like they've piqued some interest, or they'd be amazing at it, like, but you haven't presented it yet.
Okay, I see Amy on here, so I'm just gonna use her name. I'd be like, I'd set up my video and I'd keep it like under 30 seconds, and I'd be like, hi Amy, I wanted to send you this personal video. I was kind of going back and forth about like whether or not I should do this, but ultimately this isn't about me, it's about you. You have been such a loyal preferred client. I know you love the 30 days. I know you love the products, and I genuinely think you'd be really good at what I do. You are a walking billboard for this, and I would love to show you how to create an extra stream of earnings. You remind me of so many people that I work with. You are just such a light, and you have such a genuine way about you of just showing up for people. And I honestly think you'd be really good at this. Like, are you open to learning more? I think it'd be really smart for you to check out. And you know what? Maybe it's fit for you, maybe it's not, but would you be open to learning? Like, I'd probably send something like that. and you can feel like I messed up, like whatever, I'm just me. I don't do multiple takes. Like I'm a one-shot wonder type of woman. And people can feel that because they're like, okay, if she can do this and she's like a hot mess, like I can do this too. So yeah, don't overthink things. Just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just get that message out there. So many times I see people hung up in their business about making that move because they're waiting to perfect it. Done beats perfect. Okay. If you're waiting for things to be perfect, you're never going to get things done. So just get them done.
And I think too, you guys, you know, Sammy was talking to us a little bit about this team, this whole overall team, and you guys are intuitive. And so going into any reach out, any conversation, any connection, it's like the energy, the space you're coming from is super important. Like, cause people know when there's a dollar sign in their head. They know when you're just trying to get them to like buy products for you to get QV. They know it. They can feel it. Like you can't explain it, but there's just this feeling about it. And it's easy to copy and paste, but people feel a no copy and paste. How often do you get a long text and make, ooh, I'm reading that later for sure. When do you get videos? When do you get voice memos? Also, of people like empowering you, be like, I think you'd be amazing at this business. I know you know what I do. And I can't get you off my mind. I think you'd be incredible at this. Compliment them. At the end of the voice memo or video, do one of those, or phone call. They should feel empowered. Like, oh my gosh, they think I'd be amazing at this. They think I should take a look at the opportunity. They took the pressure off, saying it may be a fit for me. It may not, but I think it'd be really smart for you to take a look at. Like, oh my gosh, that's what they should come out of it feeling good. Like they'd be good at this. And there's no pressure either way, but that they should learn more because you think they'd be amazing at it. So come in with that like energy, whether that's you play your favorite song, your pump up song, you dance to it, whatever. You know, when you're in that good feeling state and you're kind of confident and on top of the world, like do your reach outs then. Do your reach outs not in those places too. Like it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for that moment to hit. Either create that energy or just live in that energy, I guess.
I love it. So good. Okay. So you can see how we train as we story tell, and they're just like, hopefully you're taking notes.
We definitely don't have notes.
Yeah, no. But I want to recommend some books that really helped me in my journey when I started Arbonne. So like I said, I did not know anything about network marketing. And so I asked my upline, I'm like, what do I read? Like what? She first time I popped on a coaching call, she goes, what are you reading? I was like, reading? She was like, yeah, what are you reading? I'm like, I don't read. And she was like, that's going to need to change. Like, what was the last book you read? And I'm like, full transparency, the last book I started and actually finished was Huckleberry Finn in 7th grade. And she's like, that's not a good answer for someone that's going to be like, wants to really build something like in network marketing. Like readers are leaders and you need to start like plugging in and reading leadership books. And I'm like, okay, what's my first book? My first book I read was Get Over Your Damn Self by Rumi Newstead. And that book is a game changer for network marketers. It's not an Audible book. I mean, yeah, you can listen to it on Audible, but I want you to get the hard copy of it on Amazon. You need to read that book and dissect it. My book is like highlighted, underlined, or sticky notes. Like that book has gone to war. Like that book has been like a Bible.
We read it every year too. Like it's not something you just read once, like revisit that. Revisit that when you want to get back to the fundamentals, like understand and like really have belief in yourself and in the business.
Yes. At the end of chapter 2, she has you really dig deep on your why. You have to get really granular on your why. Why are you doing this, right? Why are you doing Arbonne? Like, what is the deeper part of that? It can't just be surfacey, like, oh, I just want to like make a few extra $100 a month. Like if you want to build something really substantial, build a legacy for your family, like make a big impact, like you have to have something so like deeply rooted. And so at the end of chapter 2, she takes you through some of those activities. So that's one of the books. The second one is called GoPro by Eric Worre. Eric Worre also has a podcast called GoPro, which I love. He interviews top income earners from all sorts of network marketing companies. Whenever I have downtime, if I'm like unloading the dishwasher, if I'm driving to my chiropractor appointment, if I'm like, whatever I'm doing, like I'm typically listening to something that's growing my mindset, that's
just
building my belief.
Conference too.
Yes, he's amazing. So GoPro by Eric Worre. The third one is the 4-year career.
So GoPro and Get Over Your Damn Self for the first two. Those are like understanding the like how to build the business. And then these two are more like building your mindset and understanding the network marketing industry and business model so you can speak about it, so you believe in it.
Yes. So the third one is The 4-Year Career. And is that one by Richard Brisbrook?
Yeah.
Blissbrook. Super great. I can send a picture of all these to Sam after. And then the 4th one is Flip Flop CEO. And actually, I think an MVP and Arbonne was part of writing that book, which is pretty amazing. So those are my 4 go-tos. And when I'm coaching a new consultant through the business, how to start their business, I'm like, read these 4 books. Like, I don't care if you do it in a week. I don't care if you do it in 6 months, but like, these are like a pretty much top priority of you to build your confidence, build your belief so that you can confidently speak about our industry and network marketing and all those things. So that's something I highly recommend. I highly recommend too, like declaring what you want this to be for you. Like, not everyone comes into this and has a big vision of what they want to create. Like, maybe that takes years to build. And that's, you know, I had years of terrible jobs and feeling so unfulfilled. So when Arbonne came into my life, I grabbed hold and like, you know, that's not typical. Like, not everyone comes into it with that. So I don't want you to feel like you're behind if that's not where you're at yet, or maybe you'll never be there. That's totally fine. Like, you are exactly where you need to be. We're just simply like shedding light on our experience and kind of our journey. So Wade mentioned I had a fast road to region, and I had a lot of no's in that time, right? Like, I'll say that this business is not magic, it's math. In the first 3 months of my business, I probably spoke, I am not kidding, to 400 to 500 people about Arbonne, like that were on calls, like watching like recordings, coming on as a guest, getting on as a 3-way call. Like, I barely slept in those 3 months. Like, there was not a lot of, like, there was no, like, you get recognized in public for what you consistently do in private, right? So there were so many unsexy things I was doing that none of you were seeing on social media to build that region, right? And it's
she
like,
had Arbonne insomnia every night till like 1 or 2 a.m.
Yes.
I can vouch for that.
Yes.
I'd be in bed next to her and she'd be up, like, just listening to trainings, Debbie Neal trainings, all these things.
I became obsessed with it, right? Like, Grant Cardone's book, Be Obsessed or Be Average, that is one I'll let you listen to on Audible, one of my favorites. But I want to transition and talk about, like, so had a fast road to region. And then I thought, since like district, area, region kind of happened, like nation would be a breeze, right? So I kind of want to talk about like region to nation, our road to nation.
Yeah. So I think the biggest takeaways on Sandy's like fast road to region is, one, like, once she bought in, like, and this doesn't have to be the day you start. It could be just, you know, we hear it in our, a decided heart. The day your heart is decided, it's then up to you. You can compress going RVP, which takes on average, I forget, 24 months or something, 22. You can compress that into 3 or 4 months or 6 or whatever. It's that math part, but it's also like the growing into who you need to be, like showing up, show up to go up, plugging in, like being a student of the game. And really joining network marketing or joining Arbonne isn't like your golden ticket to success. Becoming a leader, becoming the person you need to be, developing into that is the key. So like becoming a leader, reading the books, being on the calls, looking at RVPs. What are RVPs doing? What are NVPs doing? I'm going to start to surround myself with them. I'm going to start to do what they do. What are their actions? What are they reading? All the different things. Evaluate that and start to live into that. And so, yeah, RVP happened super fast for Sandy. And then is like, okay. And then there's 2 of us in, because she did that in like 3 months. I joined like 5 or 6 months in. And then there's 2 of us working it. And we figured, okay, we're going to go MVP. And we had a vision for it, but it was definitely like a quote unquote hard road or a harder road. So we want to kind of talk through the struggles there, because it's not all like just rainbows, but there's struggle too, and there's hurdles and there's obstacles. And I think when you have a vision for what you want, when you have a decided heart, when you have an underlying why, when your why is big enough, whether it's your family, your legacy, your children, or something, when it's bigger than you and it's bigger than money, obstacles cease to exist. They're merely hurdles. You find your way over or around them. It's like, oh, someone said no, or this happened, or I threw an event and no one showed up, or whatever it is. Like, when you keep coming back to your why, you keep going, you push through. The only way to fail in this business is to quit. We know that. And
Say that again.
MVPs, the only way to fail in this business is to quit. Failure isn't a real thing. If you get up tomorrow and you keep going, you keep pounding the stone, you keep doing and doing, like the Chinese bamboo tree proverb, it takes I forget, 90 days or no, 9 years, something. It takes a long time.
You're going to mess this up. This is from the book Chop Wood, Carry Water.
Yes.
It's a very quick, easy read. You could read it in an hour. ENVP Ashley Stanfield told me about it. She said it was one of her favorite books, and I love Ashley Stanfield. So I'm like, if this is her favorite book, I'm going to read it like tomorrow. So I did. And there's a part in the book that talks about bamboo. Like bamboo takes 5 years, I think it is, to sprout above ground. So there's a story about this man that kept watering the dirt and watering the dirt and watering the dirt every day. And people looked at him and were like, he is psycho. He's just watering this dirt every day. How sad. Like he just like, and then guess what? One day it sprouted, and within 90 days it sprouts like, I don't know, 100 feet or something crazy.
And then everyone's like, oh, wow, look at you. Oh my gosh, look at you.
And so it looks like this overnight success, but it's like, look at the foundational tools. Like when I look at, you can look at my journey and be like, oh my gosh, well, my whole life I've been building relationships. Like I am a great friend to people. I am very involved in extracurricular things. Like I show up for others. And so when I declared that I was going to make Arbonne my thing, and I was passionate and on fire and on purpose about it, people showed up for me. Not everyone, but enough people where that momentum started, carrying. So no, like it takes time to build that, and don't compare your beginning. Am I saying this right? Your beginning to my middle, right? Like don't compare your story to anyone else's. We all have different like foundational blocks and foundational like beginnings, and we all have different strengths. And so lean into your strengths, and know that your strengths are like your gift, and you have those for a reason. And those will be a huge part of how you attract the right people into your business. So, okay, as we were going nation, there we've dealt with, I could list off a million things that happened that could have been like, I'm throwing in the towel. We had key people in our business that I never thought would ever leave Arbonne. I thought they were lifers. I thought they were like as serious about this as I was, that just walked away. We had many parties where no one showed up, right? We had many times where, you are in conversations with someone and they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm in. And then they join the witness protection program. Like I've had so many of those things, right? But you just keep going, and every no gets you that much closer to your next yes. And you want to be in so much momentum that it's like, ooh, yeah, those things sting. Like I had a party once where it was one of the worst parties I ever had. I won't get into detail about it, but I came home crying, and I was like, Wade, I
walked in the tail end and I was like,
it was really bad. And I came home and I was crying, and I was like, I just don't know, like, I don't know if I'm good enough at this. Like, it was like really defeating, but guess what? Like I cried it out, and I woke up the next day and I'm like, this is a fresh start. Like I'm going to do this again.
I want to share a story. So on our road from region to nation, a pivotal moment in our journey, we were a strong bonusing, achievement award earning region. And, we were growing a little bit, but we might've been at like 80-ish thousand. And we were on a cruise with our family vacation, and we were at a steak dinner on the cruise, just us. It was like date night. And it's pretty secluded. There's not a lot of people around us. So we're talking about Arbonne and business, because I think when you make this your life, like it all blends in. Sandy and I were talking about this earlier, but this is a lifestyle business, and it's not like you create a life through this business that you don't want to escape from. So when you're kind of always doing Arbonne, but you can also take time off of it whenever you want. Anyways, we're talking about Arbonne at dinner, and Sandy's like, okay, let's talk through when we're going nation. We're like, okay, yeah, let's talk through it. And she is a visionary, a big vision, and releases details. And I'm like rational, logical. So we balance each other out in a lot of ways. And she's like, okay, I want to go nation qual next month. And I'm like, babe, that would be doubling our business pretty much overnight. And she's like,
okay.
And I'm like, well, think about that. Like that would take this to happen and that to happen, that to happen. Like we're definitely going to do it. Next month is aggressive. And I start going through like, how are we going to do it? And then she's like, I don't know. I don't care about that. And
keynote, like how does not matter.
So that's a moral. But I'm like, babe, that would take magic. And I kid you not, we're in now a fight. out on this cruise at steak dinner, like over our Arbonne business and goals, because I'm like, what, you're sounding insane right now. And she's like, think bigger. And this guy in all black walks up to us, and
What was he?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
He walks up to us and he just goes, do you believe in magic? And I look up and he like looks like a mysterious guy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Now I do. I mean, yeah, I believe in magic. And he goes, see this? And he takes a quarter.
So it was a magician.
It was a magician, yes. He takes a quarter and goes behind my ears and snaps and pulls out $50. So he's just like, he doubled the value of his coin. He came over, he said, do you believe in magic? And it was like in that moment, I just had this realization, like, I need to release the how. If we hold the vision for what we want, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but we're going for it. So from that point, we were all in. And I want to share something else that we did every day after that. But from that point forward, so what you realize is release the how. Hold the vision in front of you for what you want. It's not like, okay, well, if I have 2 areas, I can go RVP or whatever. It's just release it. Know where you're going, have conviction, have belief, and you're going to like radiate from that space and then commit to the action. And when you believe you're going there, you're going to commit to the action. So from that day forward, we wrote affirmations together on when we were going nation. And guess what? We didn't go nation qual the next month. It didn't happen. That would be pretty cool. Disney story, right? But guess what? The month after that, we did go nation qual. And it was freaking magic, because pretty much a Sandy came into our business, deep in our business. It was like, there was like 8 people in between us. And you guys probably know her. Her name's Kaylin Kukuska. She went nation in like 6 months. She's a beast, but she's amazing. And one of our friends. And so basically another Sandy comes in and just lights on fire and, you know, goes region in 3 months. And it actually, she was so deep, we couldn't use a lot of her volume, but it was that fire. And it was that belief, and it was that place we were coming from, and then just taking it and running with it and helping her get up and started. And it was just amazing to see. So we did go nation, like not that next month, but the month after, nation qual. But then there was a lot of hurdles.
There's a lot of hurdles. So I want to be respectful of time. So like, give me like a 2-minute when I gotta wrap it up, but I want to bring this story full circle. So Kaylin came in and, you know, she had a very fast journey. And so we went into qual together, and we had to really, really rally. So we were on that cruise in July. We did not hit qual in August, but we went into qual in September, and then we maintained it in October, and we needed to finish it in November. This was a year ago, like 13 months ago. So we wanted to finish it in November. And a big lesson I learned is like, I really was pushing for it to close it by the end of the year so that we could be in Maui in January with all the MVPs. And, you know, when you have struggles in your business, it is happening to help you be a better leader. And I see that now, but at the time, it seemed like the end of the world, because we were like declaring it on the rooftops to everyone that we are going nation. Like everyone in my life knew that we were going nation. Everyone, like people I hadn't talked to in like 15 years. Like I was vulnerable AF. Like I'm like, I'm doing this. Like,
that was the most insane month.
You need chapstick, you need toothpaste, like, let's go, right? Like, so vulnerable. Like, this is before compliance. Like, we had sticky notes all over the wall. We were sharing it with the world on social media, like, full transparency. We're like, this is happening. Okay, well, it didn't happen. So we wake up on December 1st, and I was, like, exhausted from the push and just, like, defeated. And Kaylin promoted to nation, and we did not. And I'm like, I'm the biggest loser on the planet. This is so embarrassing, like all the negative self-talk, right? Like how did someone in our success line that joined a year and a half after us just promote to national vice president? And we didn't. Like I was like so embarrassed. Like it was this whole ego thing. And I'm so glad it happened because it helped us be better leaders. And so we are big believers of 90-day cycles. And so we were like, all right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I took like 3 or 4 days of like crying a lot and feeling really sad for myself.
Maybe
and I'm like,
2 weeks.
Okay. And then I'm like, this is not about me. This is about other people. This is like building a nation. You don't do it alone. You do it with a nation. You do it with many people that are also on that similar mission, right? And so we recommitted to a 90-day cycle. We got We did not get back into qual in December, so then we lost our qual. In January of this year of 2020, we went back into qual for nation, and you need 160,000 to go into qual. I think we did like 195,
yeah,
like way above, because we've been building that momentum. We've been planting those
seeds. A lot of
seeds
trying to go nation, and they flourished, 90 days later.
Yes. And so then, and so we didn't get to be in Maui. So that was another thing, like seeing all of the leaders in Maui when I had visualized and believed and like knew in my soul and every ounce of my, like every cell of my body, believed that we would be national vice presidents in Maui. Like I'd been affirming that every single day of the entire year, like for so long. And like for it not to happen was just like, it was just like this mental thing of just like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to watch, right? I full of transparency. I had to mute a lot of people on social media for my mental health, because I'm like, I can't watch this right now, because they can't help but just like feel like I deserve to be there, right? And so the thing is, what's the thing you always say about how you grow into your title? Like you act as if.
Yeah, so we had spent a lot of time and energy growing into the leaders we needed to be NVPs. So honestly, like we felt like NVPs, and that is a huge, one of the biggest things, like I would say in anything in life, but definitely in Arbonne, it's like grow into the person and let the title catch up. Like grow into the area, the RVP, the NVP, and let the title catch up. So those are our two biggest learning lessons. Was one, grow into that person. Two, all the hardships, all the obstacles are setting you up to be the best leader that you can be in your story. Like that happened to us for a reason. And three, in November, we pushed so hard so we could be in Maui. No one else was leveling up with us. So but then in February, we promoted to nation like on the 20th, like a week or so early. And guys, promoting early is definitely the play. Don't wait till the last day. Just do it early. Trust me, duplicate that in your success line. It's amazing. But we did it, and we promoted our second region. And from there, and we, with a ton of areas and a ton of districts, and like everyone was promoting, we did it. We went together as a team. So like, it's not about us. It comes back to help enough other people. Everything you want will be taken care of. And know that along the road, all those hurdles, all those falls, those roadblocks are setting you up to be the best leader you can be, and live into the person you need to be, and let the title catch up. And one of the biggest ways we did that, which is probably the best way to end, is through the use of affirmations, is through the use of what we tell ourselves. Our thoughts are so important. Our life is a product of what we think all day, every day. And so we have the opportunity to like rewire that, and to be like, this is what I think, this is how I think, this is what I am, and speak it into life and into existence. Because when you start to do that, you wire your brain subconsciously and consciously to start moving towards that. Your brain's gonna be like, I'm not a liar. And then your actions start to consciously and subconsciously kind of unfold towards that. So we had an affirmation for Going Nation that after that cruise, that magic moment, we were like,
no,
right,
it was in December after we didn't close Nation. We were like, we gotta, this is when we really started adopting this and like tweaking things and like being like, we gotta like, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. We had to have a mindset shift of like, this isn't about us. This is about like an army of people that are all leveling up together. So I learned this from Jerry Rosenthal, who's an incredible trainer. He only trains people in Arbonne. He's not in Arbonne himself, but he has incredible training programs. Like he's been a guest speaker on some of our calls. He's absolutely incredible. He has a great SoundCloud with Donna Johnson, the Go for Gold. I can send it to you, Samantha. But anyway, he taught us like this goal card basically. And so we amped it up and made it our own. But he teaches you to say this affirmation 5 times a day, 5 times in a row, right? So you're saying it 25 times a day. And so we customized our own. But when in that final push from December and January and then February, when we finally closed it, like this was like what we lived and breathed and said all the time. Are you ready for it? I am so happy and grateful.
For my amazing life.
For my incredible marriage.
For my perfect health.
For my unstoppable confidence.
And for the abundance of time, money, and freedom in my life.
We are business building and sponsoring magnets.
People are eagerly seeking the life-changing opportunity we have to offer.
These people are excited to work with us and building their businesses fast, stable, and strong, the same way we have.
We are trifecta bonus earners.
We are a nation.
We attract the right people, resources, and opportunities. And we are an executive national vice president partnership with Arbonne International.
Woo! It feels so good to say it. And so we want to empower you to write your own affirmations.
Imagine saying that, something like that 5 times in a row, 5 times a day. You will program that. And at first you might be like, it's not even close to true. And it might feel a little weird, but it's going to start to feel better and better. And you're going to start to like come from that place and that space and that energy. And it has been a huge game changer in our lives and in our businesses.
Yes. So I feel like we dumped a lot of stuff on you guys.
Yes.
If anyone has like a question, we'd love to open it up. But if not, like.
Also, we know we ran over on time.
Yeah.
So
thank you for
we'll pass it back to you, Sam.
Oh my gosh, you guys. You guys are amazing.
That's great.
I like started to cry when you're saying your affirmation together. I'm like, yes, I love it so much. And oh my God, I love how you tweaked it and added to it and made it your own. Like I love it. And I would love to definitely extend, if anyone has a question for these 2 rock stars, now's the time to get uncomfortable and ask your question.
I love it.
You asking a question too is like being everyone's teacher, because like we all have similar questions.
Yeah.
Anyone have a question?
Okay, I do.
Let's hear it.
Maggie.
First of all, I'm going to give you 2 a big hug when you get to Maui this August, because you are just adorable. I'm in love with you both. But I always love to get people talking about what their no's were and how they got past them. So in the beginning, when you were running, RVP in 3 months, that sort of sounds like, oh, everybody just said yes to you. And so it'd be great to hear, what did that 3 months look like? I know you were just crazy busy and you did the 400 asks, but how did you handle the no's?
The no's hurt. You have to really learn not to take them personally, right? I got a lot of no's of like, I would never do something like that. Like, I'm not interested. Like, I already love what I'm doing in work for my work. Like, I am not interested in partnering with like anything like a pyramid scheme. Like, people were saying all those types of things. And I think those books, the 2 that I first mentioned, really helped me how to handle them, because there's a lot of coaching and verbiage and guidance in there about how to like kind of like pivot the conversation. But the biggest thing I learned is a no doesn't mean never. It means not right now. I have many people that said no to me or like blocked me or like wanted nothing to do with me that are like now suddenly like a preferred client or are in my business. But I think the thing is, a lot of people start network marketing and they're not doing it 3 months later or 6 months later or a year later. And so when your network sees you coming out, I started my Arbonne business. A common theme is people to roll their eyes and be like, another person, like, how much longer till they bite the dust and like quit this, right? And so I think the biggest thing is consistency. And so when they say no, it's like bless and release. Like, it's not for everyone. It's a timing thing. Maybe it's not like for them right now, but I maintain the friendship and I maintain the relationship. Just because they say no to Arbonne doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking to them. I'm still going to comment on their photos. I'm still going to reach out to them and ask how they're doing. I'm still going to, if they're like a real friend in life, like I'm still going to go on walks with them, grab lunch with them. Like, I'm not going to change the way I show up for them. And when people feel that genuineness and they know, like, I don't just have a dollar sign on my head, like this person genuinely cares about me. So I would say, like, my advice to that is lean into the friendship, like lean into the relationship with that person and show them like you aren't just about like Arbonne isn't the only reason you're interested in having a conversation with them. So does that kind of like answer your question?
I think too, I'll add to that. Like, when you have unwavering belief in you have a gift to offer of Arbonne, whether it's healthy product or whether it's the business or the community, like whatever gift or the whole thing, whatever gift you're offering, when you truly like know in your heart and believe it's a gift, it's like, that's all it is. Like, hey, I'm offering this. If someone says no, like Sandy said, it's no for now. Timing is everything. But it's also like, that's okay. They don't have to accept it. Not everyone's going to. And we don't want everyone to be honest. But it's like, separate yourself, detach from the emotional side of it too. Sandy and I are wired differently. So like, I believe in this business and this company so much. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but I detach from the emotion of the no. Like if a few people, also how you carry yourself, right? Like if you carry yourself with unwavering belief and conviction and confidence, and that's things you can develop as you lean in more, as you're around the people who have succeeded in it more, as you read the books, like people don't come at you like, oh, let's wait till you quit. You're in a pyramid scheme and this, and that. It's like, and when they do, you're so well equipped to either answer it or have it roll off your shoulders and be like, oh, they don't get it. When like Rita Davenport, one of our biggest mentors, especially in this business, was like, when people would say no to me, I laughed at them. I was like, and it's almost like you don't necessarily laugh in their face, but when you develop that, like, what are they thinking? When someone says no to Sandy, I literally hear like, this person is crazy. And like, it's when you have that belief, it's almost, you come from a different place where a no doesn't pierce you like a no, like maybe when you're starting and you're fragile and you're like emotional about it. So it's like develop into that belief, that unwavering belief, and you'll be able to handle no's. You'll almost feel bad for them. You'll be like, oh man, too bad for them.
They're
I'll
lost.
come back in a few months.
I love it. I see someone put in the chat, what's the biggest head trash that would come in for you and how do you overcome it? Okay, I've dealt with a lot of head trash and I still do. It's not like you promote to MVP and that goes away, FYI. But it's just working like through that, right? Consistently. I would say the biggest thing for me is a lack of support from my closest friends and family. I have never had any family member buy a product. Not one. Not one family member has ever bought a product for me. Come to an event, shown any support. That's really hard. And I have had to like just detach from that and know that that's just a reflection of them. And a lot of people have told me, a lot of those close people have told me like, this doesn't work. And if it does work, it's not going to be long-term, things like that. And to me, that's given me fuel because I'm like, watch, I am going to make this work and I am going to show you that this does work. And like someone doubting me, like, of course it does put that head trash in my own head of like, wait, are they right? Like, is this not going to work? But then I'm like, but there's proof of it working for so many people. There's 500 national vice presidents in Arbonne from all different walks of life, from all different backgrounds. I'm like, if all these people can do it, like, why can't I do it? Right. And so I would just say like, it's natural to have that, but that's why those affirmations and those, what you plug into, like what you consume, what you're listening to, the people you're surrounding yourself with. Like, that's why I said I had to maybe leave some toxic people at the door. It's so key. So I hope that kind of helps.
I think my biggest head trash was like, do I fit into this community, into this business, into, it's 90 whatever % women. When I joined Sandy, like I did not see people like myself. And I'm coming from this finance world background, like prior athlete, like all these different things, into like, wait, you're leaving all that behind to go into like network marketing, health and wellness, like with your wife, like kind of the, like, what will people think of me? But even more so, like, gosh, do I fit in here? And my biggest realization was, this is such an amazing vehicle to live the life like that we want to live, to impact a lot of people. And that's what Arbonne is. It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle to help you change a lot of people's lives and to ultimately live the life you want. And when you're underlying like why you're doing it and your vision for your life is bigger than, that head trash, like you pull through it. And the other realization I had is like, maybe I don't see a lot of people like me. And that doesn't just mean if you're a guy or a girl. Maybe you don't see a lot of people like you or feel like you fit in or relate, but it's an opportunity for you. Like I often think, like, I don't like to think of weaknesses or this or that. I like to think of them as like opportunities. It's an opportunity for you. What if it's an opportunity for you to trailblaze? What if other people look to you and relate to your story and be like, I'm just like that person. If they can do it, I can do it. And so that was like, whoa, there's a bigger opportunity to trailblaze, because me saying yes to this might empower people around me, even if it's just a few people. And that is a pretty amazing, empowering feeling.
Thank you guys so much for having us on. It's one of our greatest joys is to pour into other people. So we appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys so, so, so much. If everyone could just quickly unmute and say thank you from our
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.